Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. I don't know why or what has happened, but I've had to log in, log out, log in, log out, log in, log out, and now we're back. So we'll see how long it lasts this time. So, the reason for this live is Dick Yardley has graciously written out a timeline of the treason and deception that has been perpetrated on the Australian people. I'll read it out and I'll add a few little bits and pieces to it just to fill in a few little blanks. But Dick's done a brilliant job as usual, and I thank you very kindly, Dick. So, under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901, as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms, we are a constitutional monarchy and have every right known to man. So, in 1966, the 14th of February, they created at the counterfeit money, the Australian dollar, AUD. In the copyrighted version of the Australian Constitution, pocket edition, that the political parties print and give to the people from their purported politicians' offices, proves that they still need a referendum, and the monetary change was done without this referendum, because if they didn't need the referendum to change the monetary system, they would have changed it in their copyrighted version of the Constitution Act. So, the salary of the Governor-General should be paid in pounds. Each senator and each member of the House of Representatives should be paid in pounds. Payable to the Queen, pounds. I better turn that off. Ministers of the state should be paid in pounds. This is in their own paperwork. They tell us everything. So think, people, what did the bank actually lend you? What did they lend me? It's backed by nothing. Under our Constitution, it is backed by our minerals. So, the tax office? So, 1973 changed the constitutional definitions and created a paper Australia. Commonwealth equals Commonwealth of Australia, outside of our primary law. Acts Interpretation Acts, number 79. 1973 again, removed all the living by changing the enacting manner and form, not recognising, humbly relying on the blessing of Almighty God. Have then created all as John Doe or Jane Doe, that swear their oath to their Queen of Australia, their paper queen. And this is in the Australian Citizenship Act, number 99. In 1973, created all satanic treasonous political parties to create their own constitutions under the changed constitutional definitions, therefore making satanic treasonous political parties only representing members within their party membership. All outside our primary law, Australian electoral offices are established in every state under the Australian Electoral Office Act, number 87. We move to 1973 again. The creation of the satanic treasonous political parties parallel parliament government system. The Royal Style and Titles Act, number 114, is 3 pages and enacted to the Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen of Australia, and her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth. The proclamation and gazette is 5 pages of satanic treason. This act and proclamation and gazettes created the sovereign, independent and federal nation in a geographical sense. 1973, satanic treasonous political parties created land for their paper Australia by changing the definition of land from yards to metres in their Lands Acquisition Act number 208. So, to enforce their satanic treasonous political party system under their paper coin of Australia, created Family Court of Australia Act 1975, Act number 53, Federal Court of Australia Act 1976, number 156, Australian Federal Police Act 1979, number 58, High Court of Australia Act 1979, number 137. The above three courts sit in the present pretense of, but knowingly having no crown and constitutional authority equals treason. Coins cancels. Are they just dumb or what? Lawyers, liars, and solicitors, snakes, barristers, QC, sold their souls to work within these courts. Money became their god, the illusion of wealth. The contrary intention has never appeared to this very day, from the day of the treasonous political parties changed the constitutional and official definitions in 1973, all done without a referendum while sitting in our Parliament House. The Australian Federal Police are mercenaries working for a foreign company. Having no crown and constitutional authority equals treason. These treasonous political parties' enforcement acts are for the status of their Commonwealth of Australia as a sovereign, independent and federal nation in a geographical sense. Between 1976 and 1980, every state and territory removed the Church of England, the defender of the faith. This removed the guarantee of our royal deeds of grant to our ownership of land. The Christian religion is, in most English-speaking countries, recognised as a part of the common law of England, not common law in Australia, as the political parties have changed too. There is an abundant authority for saying that Christianity is part and parcel of the law of the land. Yes, it is. Fact. In their system being abstract, John Doe or Jane Doe, we have no God, no soul. Church leaders sold their souls and ours to their treasonous political parties. In 1985, every state satanic treasonous political party created the Australia Acts Request Act to join an act to enable the constitutional arrangements affecting the Commonwealth and the states to be brought into conformity with the status of the Commonwealth of Australia as a sovereign, independent and federal nation in a geographical sense. Only the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth and the Premiers of the states agreed on the taking of certain measures to bring constitutional arrangements affecting the Commonwealth and the states into conformity with the status of the Commonwealth of Australia as a sovereign, independent and federal nation in a geographical sense. Total treason. The people never agreed. Under our primary law and our state constitutions, there are no such things as a Prime Minister and Premiers of the states. These are only created in the illusion for their satanic treasonous political parties. Under this satanic treasonous political party system, they have taken ownership of all land in metres. Remember, they changed it to metres, with within their paper Australia and everything you ever even think you owned. We own nothing, and we are supposed to be happy now. After the treasonous political parties got their enforcement, private costume-wearing, pedophile-protecting Australian Federal Police mercenaries and their owned and controlled High Court of Australia, their constitution became the Constitution together with the Australia Act 1986 for their sovereign, independent and federal nation. Total treason. Every state political party created a local government act for their sovereign, independent and federal nation. No crown and constitutional authority. So under their Australia Acts Request Act 1985, the so-called governor doesn't represent the Crown, so can't give royal assent. The royal enacting manner and form writes writs for elections, writes writs for referendums, writes writs for a royal commission, etc., etc. Simple. You can't have anything to do with our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901, as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. We are a constitutional monarchy and have every right known to man. The satanic treasonous political party's sovereign, independent and federal nation is a dictatorship. That is another fact. Remember, in 1999, we voted all the satanic treasonous political parties and their satanic republic acts out and voted to stay as a constitutional monarchy. Under a constitutional monarchy, we have every right known to man, and you own your own property. So political parties are the satanic republic. They most definitely are. Each political party sits under their own party constitution. Therefore, anybody outside that constitution is not affected by those rules. Now, Dick didn't write rules for any old reason. He wrote rules, I believe, because that's all they are. They're rules. They are not the law of the land. A federal referendum of the people is an explicitly binding act on all political parties, Australian parliaments and governments. And when they don't listen to the referendums, they enact treason upon themselves. Thanks again, Dick. That's beautiful. Oh, let's have a look. You have a notice from TikTok to stop. That's the tried truth. What else have we got? What are you talking about? Some comments in the lights are filtered. Yeah, I know. It's some comments in the filtered. I just saw a notice. So I'll put the document up shortly. There's one more little error that I've just found that we'll fix up before I put the pictures up. But I don't know what else to tell you people. We are definitely under a political party dictatorship. I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, but I can comprehend the research from two brilliant men of our time, in my humble opinion, and that is Dick Yardley and Wayne Glue. If I'm wrong, tell me. But if there's any questions you've got, we're quite happy to answer your questions. If you don't want to believe this information and you think it's incorrect, bring the facts to the table. The facts are that we are using their own official Australian government documents, legislation and extracts. Thanks, Dick. You've given us the ammunition to stand our ground on the truth. And I, for one, I am hurting enough. I've suffered since 2010 chronic pain, and chronic pain is not good. It does it does do some damage, unfortunately. I know I'm an angry man. I try to be nice as possible, but the anger does get the better of me because I'm really sick of the pain that I'm suffering from this work injury. But hopefully we can keep going and try and help educate all Australians on what every single political party in this country has done to our country and our people. We have so many Aussies living in tents. Why? Have a look at our Australian politicians. Who's the one that's... Who are the ones that own multiple properties while Australians are living in tents? There was a gentleman down, I believe it was Victoria, that was standing on the street, starkers, with signs over his private parts. An elderly gentleman is forced to do this. Is this the real Australia that we really live in? Alright. Hey. So, I don't know what else to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, but we are in dire straits in this country. If you can prove otherwise, bring it to the table. The only way forward, in my humble opinion, is standing on the truth, back with the facts. Other than that, we'll continue on, and live restricted for some audiences. Your live contains themes that may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, alcohol, tobacco and drugs. Are you serious? What, you're not even allowed to have a cigarette now? Oh, sorry, Daddy. I didn't ask for permission, did I? Did you know about the thing that's coming in? I believe it's the start of July this year, 2025, where there's only going to be 3 types of cigarette levels: blue, yellow and red. I presume that yellow is the bottom rung, but they're only going to be packets of 20, I believe, and 30-gram pouches. There's going to be no different flavours, so to speak, no bursties, all the rest of it. So when I suppose when they attack the beers and say you're not allowed to have so many beers, you can only have 5 beers a day now because Daddy says so. Maybe then the people that frequent the pubs may start paying attention. Until we stand as a people, as one, unity is the key. And I take my hat off to anybody that comprehends this information and stands with the fact and the truth. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it there, and I'll continue on putting up a few more pictures and follow on with Dick's document of the timeline, so you can have a read yourself, and hopefully somebody wants to try and prove this information wrong. I tried myself right back at the very start because I was very skeptical too, but being someone that likes the truth and the facts, I tried my hardest to prove it wrong, but all the evidence is staring us in the face. For instance, the 1988 Constitutional Commission, Bills number 1 and Bills number 2, prove that these political parties still need a referendum to recognise their paper Queen of Australia. Not just to recognise the paper Queen of Australia, because Bill number 2 states that they still need the referendum to recognise the Queen of Australia so as the members and senators can swear their oath to a bit of paper. It makes me sick. Seriously, the level of deceit and corruption with these politicians is beyond a joke, and criminals need to be held accountable for their actions. And the truth of the matter is that they all know we are the dumb pricks, and until we stand on the evidence, what's going to change? Not too much, is it? But that's life. So, as usual, one foot in front of the other, and I'll keep going, and hopefully more people comprehend the information from these two brilliant men. There's been plenty of others, don't get me wrong. These two men, I believe, have given us all the answers we need. And until we stand together, nothing will change. Have a look at our Yankee brothers and sisters. They love their constitution. Most Australians don't even know we have a constitution. And why is this? This is because our political parties have taken it out of our schooling and replaced it with their own political party propaganda. We've done a video on the Australian University to show the propaganda that they're pushing, where they've got the Governor-General underneath the Parliament, which is totally false, which can be proved just by a quick Google search. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about it. I think it's time for me to go and have a bit of a lay down and calm this pain level back. But other than that, all the best, ladies and gents, and we'll see you again soon, I hope. Cheers, guys. Is it going to turn off?